Hey everybody, it's Kelli G in the Craftique Studio. Welcome in. I am so excited to share with you something that I've been wanting to try for so long, and that is the OLO Alcohol Ink Marker. Whether you're someone who colors just here and there to add a little bit of pizzazz to your projects, or someone who loves to stamp out a bunch of cute little designs and just color to relax and to enjoy them. Alcohol ink markers are definitely an essential tool for the craft room. I'm going to show you the OLO markers, a couple of different variations of them, what makes them so special, and then I'm going to color a little with them to show you what they look like in real life. So let's get started. So if you wanted to start collecting them, or if you were curious about, how they colored, the best way to get started would be to buy a small box of these markers. And as you can see here, we have different collections that are divided up by color groups or seasonal categories. And then they come in different numbers of markers. So the smaller package that we have in the shop gives you 4 individual markers, but each marker, as you can see, has 2 different colors that are associated with it. And I'll show you a little bit more about that later. So as you can see here, we have the primary, spring, and winter collections. We have a cool gray, a warm gray, and a portrait collection. And then forest, lavender, and autumn collections. So you can tell by looking at the different color swatches on the boxes what type of coloring you're going to get. So obviously with the forest collection, for example, you'll see a lot of woody type of greenery looks here that you can use, create with the colors, as well as a couple of different complementary pop colors like the red here and the yellows. The lavender collection has a lot of purples and different tones, but then you also have complementary colors as well. Same thing with the autumn collection, where you can see a lot of warmer colors that would be included there. The one thing that I really like about this is that they have a couple of different options in terms of colors and shades. So they've broken down the grays into the warm and cool gray collections, which will be really cool for, something like a monotone project where you're just looking at grayscale and black and white, or if you're coloring some little fuzzy creatures like elephants or bears that have those different colors in them. And then the portrait collection I'm really psyched about because you have the opportunity here to blend the different colors to get different skin tone options. So you have a different range here from very fair skin all the way down to the dark skin. And you can make really cool, combinations of those, especially when you're coloring in different stamped images of people. And then finally, we have the primary collection, which gives you a nice pop of your basic colors, spring and then winter, which give you a nice seasonal mix of the different colors there. This spring collection would be really cool for coloring in like different flowers, where you have some gradients here of the different shades of pink. And then we have a lot of icy blues here too, which would look really nice in a winter scene. So if you wanted to get started on a 4-pack, that would be a great place to go. We also have the 8-pack markers, which offer 16 colors apiece, and they have similar color combinations available. So as you can see here, we have the seasonal as well as the portrait and grayscales. So this portrait collection obviously gives you a larger variety of shades, and then the spring as well, so that you can see how you can create like a beautiful bouquet of different flowers within one scene from this box. Likewise with the lavenders, the grays, the primaries here. And then we have autumn, winter, and forest, and the cool grays. One note about the grays here in the larger packs that I've noticed is that they actually give you 2 of each of the 8 colors that come in the smaller packs. So if you're interested in something like this, I would only get the larger pack if you go through a lot of grays and blacks and you want to have a little bit more in your collection. So the better value would be to get the bigger package. But if you're just interested in, dabbling in it a little bit, you might want to start with the smaller box. Okay, so let's take a look at these markers. What makes them so special? Well, let's just get one of these here. So this marker here, as you can see, is one of the markers from the primary collection, and this is the one that has spearmint and evergreen on them on each end. So you'll see the number G1.4 for spearmint and then G1.7 for evergreen. So you'll know the colors, and obviously the different caps will tell you the colors as well. The capacity of each of these markers is 2 ounces of ink. OLO also features patented free flow technology in their markers so that you will get over 90% of the ink that's in the cartridge to actually flow through the pen. And according to OLO, this is the highest amount of ink that will be used from a marker of its type. So compared to other alcohol ink markers, they're saying that you'll get the most amount of ink and the most value for your dollar when you're using an OLO marker. As you can see here, you can just take the top off, and all the markers in our shop have the brush tip or the brush nib. And you'll see each of those there. And the other thing is that if you want to refill them, all you need to do is replace a cartridge. That would go right in this piece here. And so there's no mess. You just pull out one cartridge and insert the new cartridge, and then you're good to go. So it's a less messy way to refill as opposed to, like, you know, squirting ink out of a bottle or something like that. Okay. The other thing I really like about these is that you can customize the markers to your liking. So let's say we have this primary collection here, and similar colors are already matched up together so that you'll pretty much have a color that's complementary to the other when you're looking at the markers. But what if I wanted to switch things up a little bit and put maybe the green with the yellow? You can actually switch them up. And it's pretty easy to do. You just unscrew one of the markers on this end in the middle. And then you just match it back up. And notice here that there's a little connector that's included in the marker. We're going to need that information a little bit later. So you just screw them on. And voila, you have 2 different markers that you've created. So the possibilities here to customize your collection are endless, and it's really cool that you can do that. The other thing is that we sell some accessories to the markers. What if you're a traditional person who doesn't want to have a 2-headed marker, but you want to have each marker with just one color? That's also possible. OLO sells these different handles that come that you can get, and you can actually put them on the edge or the end of the marker to create like a more brush type of experience. So I'm going to open this and show you how easy it is. We have these in the store, and each of these handles comes in a 2-pack, as you can see, which is enough to create 2 different markers out of one of these, right? Because each marker comes with 2 different colors. So if I wanted to take this marker and create 2 separate markers out of it, I would again unscrew it in the middle. But remember that connector piece. That's going to be essential. Now, with this connector piece, you can actually screw on the handle, and here you have your one marker. How cool is that? It looks like a professional marker brush. I love that. But because the other marker here does not have a connector, you need to get one. And so we offer those in the store as well. These connector rings come in a pack of 10. So you only need 1 per set of 2 brush heads, right? Or brush handles. And then all you do is just take one of the rings and add it. And then you attach your brush head handle. So now you have 2 markers with their own unique color by themselves. So there are so many fun things you can do, so many ways that you can customize these markers. So I thought that right away was really fun. The other thing is, I mentioned that each of these markers comes with a brush nib or brush tip. You can also change that if you're more of a fan of the chisel nibs or tips. They come in a pack of 10, and we sell these in the shops too. They also offer packs of 10 brush nibs too, so that if you wanted to either replace a nib or you wanted to start with the chisel tip and then go back and forth, you can do that too. And so with the chisel tip, basically see how you would insert that into the marker. So all you would have to do is actually, I would put something over my fingers obviously and pull this out and then push this in to replace it. And then you would just let the free flow technology take over, and it would fill the tip. And once this tip is then saturated with the ink, you're ready to go. So now let's see how these babies color. I'm going to get an image that I stamped. I just played around and stamped a couple of images out. And what better sets to use than the Lawn Fawn sets, because I'll tell you, these critters are so cute. So I am using a couple of the winter birds from Lawn Fawn's Christmas 2023 collection of winter birds. So cute. We carry these in the shop. They come also with coordinating dies as well. So you can make some really adorable scenes with the little birds and their little nest and the tree trunk. And then they also have some really funny or punny greetings as well. And I also have a stamp from the Simply Celebrate More Winter Critters set. There was a fall set, Simply Celebrate More Critters, that came out, and this is the next version of that set. This is really cute because it allows you to make one of those cards from all of us. And the way that the stamps are lined up on a ledge there, you can have them hanging over the edge of a card or put a separate panel underneath that they can hang over as well. And you get the cute little bubble that you can use for some of these punny sayings, and there's some additional ones in the shop as well. And these critters are all dressed up for winter, so that makes it even more special. So I stamped these out, and I thought that I would give them a couple of colors to highlight them. Now, I will warn you and say I'm not an expert coloring artist at all, but that's the fun thing about it, right? So if I can do it, obviously anybody can. So let me see. I chose the primary set to start because it gives me a nice wide range of different colors that I can kind of play with here. And with birds, like these type of winter birds, you can kind of do it whatever you want, right? So I just wanted to add a pop of color. I'm going to start with this light blue. And this is B0.5. We also have in the shop, and I'll put a link to it, a color chart that you can use once you start collecting them so that you can keep track of what you have, and then you have swatches. And I'm just gently dabbing, and you can't tell this because you're not like kind of here with me, but the color comes on nice and evenly, and it just feels smooth. And I'm not even putting any pressure at all. And you can see how the color looks really nice and even. Let me make that, bring it closer. Okay, just very pretty color. And it settles really nicely as well. I'm going to color this scarf here. I'm not very good with these effects, so bear with me. I think I should have started with the darker, but I'm just going to go in just so you can kind of get a sense of how this works. So it would be like a striped scarf a little bit there. And then give it a little. And I can get really precise with this brush tip, which I like. It's not going outside the lines. I meant to also mention that whenever you're stamping an image and you want to color with alcohol ink markers, you must use the right type of stamping ink so that the colors won't bleed with the markers and the outline of the stamps. So we carry 2 such inks in our store, and one of them is from My Favorite Things. This is the Extreme Black ink, and as you can see here, it's a hybrid ink pad, which is compatible with alcohol markers. The other one is the Gina K Designs Amalgam ink, and this one is similar type of ink where you can actually stamp on the image, and then you can color inside the lines. Gina K makes other colors in the amalgam ink that we have in the store as well, like skeleton leaves, barely there, and there's like a grayish smoky one too, so that it kind of creates that no line look if you're looking for that too. So check those out in the store. I'll also link those in the note section so that you'll have a chance to get access to them. I'm going to do some really fun unorthodox things and just color this in just like a very lively way, just to give you a sense of the vibrancy of these colors. Oh, I like this one. And I'm coloring on my Misty right now with my waffle grip mat. If you didn't know about these things, I mean, they are awesome. This waffle grip mat fits directly into the Misty, and I replaced my foam pad with this. So as you can see, there's no magnet that I'm using to keep this paper down. It actually stays down because it sticks to the surface. And I use this as well when I stamp the images too. I'm going to try my brush here, my brush handle, and get that experience. Again, I'm just going way unorthodox with these colors, but it's all in fun, right? That's a nice soft yellow. Let's see, that's what, yellow 1.1. And as the numbers go up, the level of intensity of the color goes up, and the Y here stands for yellow. And in some cases, like for example, the G here obviously is for green, and then it keeps going. So there's like the R's and the BVs, which is the blue violets, etc. Let's see. I can keep going on for days, but you get the idea. These colors are rich. Let's make a cardinal here. They're smooth, and they're just pretty. I really like it. And it's really fun coloring with these because they are so smooth and soft. I guess that's the best way I can say it, like that they're soft. Like you don't have to press a lot just to get the pretty color. It's almost like you are painting a little bit with them. And again, you don't have to be an expert colorist, because I definitely am not the one. But, you know, it's making them look really good, making me look good. I'll just finish this one up here. And again, these colors might not be the best choices, but for the purposes of demonstration, I will look the other way. Okay. Maybe this little hole here. See the white spot? It's bothering me. So there you have it. A lot of vibrant color there. I'm going to probably continue coloring for a little while, just because it is actually relaxing. I think that when you find the right tools, you tend to really enjoy it. I have to admit, I was a little intimidated by coloring because I just didn't have the right tools maybe. I would use, like, you know, some alcohol ink markers that I found in the store. I do like the tri-blends as well. We don't carry them in the shop right now, but I wanted to try something new, and I wanted to see what everybody was excited about. And clearly, I've been missing out on some fun with these markers. So I'm just going to keep coloring away. I'm going to leave the links to everything in the comment section so that you can browse onto our site. And on our site, we also have an information sheet that gives you a little bit more detail about the markers, similar to what we talked about today, with the amount of ink that you have in them, the number of colors you get in each set, and you'll also see color swatches of each of the boxes. My recommendation to you is that if you'd like to start collecting or giving them a try, to decide which one you want to use, because you're going to see that if you start collecting the 4 packs with the 8 colors, and you do that in every color collection, then you might start to overlap if you then upgrade up to the 8. So I would suggest maybe starting with the 8 if you're really excited about them, and you can always downgrade to the 4 if you wanted to slow things down a bit for the other collections, and then you won't run the risk of overlapping with some of the colors. As you can see here, there are some that overlap between these two collections because they're both the forest collection. This just gives you a lot more options. You can do like mushrooms and different really cool like foraging scenes and things with this one, whereas this is like your basic collection where you just wanted to do a couple things with grass and trees and maybe a couple pops of color for flowers. So check out the website and let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Also drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you.